and welcome to the Game Forum. This week I'm going to be doing a review on SwitchBlade for the PlayStation 4. So to start off, this is a free game done by a smaller developer. So starting off taking a look at their graphics, I think it's okay. It's not going to win any amazing awards. It's not going to make me cry by looking at the sunset like Red Dead would, but it's passable. It's definitely a playable game, and the graphics don't get in the way of anything. There's no texture popping. There's none of that. It's polished for what it is. The vehicles all looked well designed. The only thing graphically that I have to say kind of irks me a bit is their characters. You get to customize what your character looks like, and this is the driver that you're going to see in all the vehicles. The character customization in this section is incredibly limited. There's only a couple different heads. You can't customize any of them. You can only choose between male and female. And then the rest of your customization is really spent on face paint, what your outfit's going to look like. And by that, I pretty much mean what color is it going to be. You can't really change too much, apart from maybe your hairstyle or your helmet. The rest is just going to be color variants and maybe some logos. So as far as graphically, I do think this is the worst part of the game. Their characters just look really stiff and rigid. And for some reason, they added in dances your character can do, just like in Fortnite. There's not really a reason for this. There is like a platform you can sit on while you're waiting to spawn, but it's only for a couple seconds. Otherwise, you don't even really see your character. So the fact this is one of the worst parts of the game really doesn't affect the game that much. The rest of everything is fine. So to start a match, you get to choose between two different vehicles. No one can choose the same vehicle. It can only be used once per team. So if someone chooses the vehicle you wanted and you couldn't get to it first, this might mean you have to pick another vehicle you're not as familiar with. But most of them are pretty balanced. So let's take a look at the vehicles in this game. This is really the bones of the game and where it'll sink or swim. They have a good variety of vehicles to choose from real light, fast vehicles to slower, more heavy-hitting tanks. Everything from machine guns, shotguns, cannons, missiles. There's a wide variety of weapons here. And you'll be able to find something to suit your playstyle, no matter what your playstyle is. I also have to make a quick note that most of these vehicles are very balanced with each other. So even if you're fighting a big tank using a more smaller, more nimble vehicle with a machine gun, it's never a surefire thing on who's gonna win. Especially when you start adding on each of the different weapon varieties that you can unlock throughout the game. Each vehicle comes equipped with a main gun, two special weapons, and then some type of special weapon or super weapon. These have a wide variety depending on what type of vehicle you're using. Anything from giving you shields, to giving you a volley of missiles, or maybe a cloaking device. There's a lot of stuff out there in this game, which I find really cool. However, once you start a match, you'll only be able to use your main gun. Your special weapons and super weapon will be locked until you get enough points to unlock them. As you get points, you'll have a choice to make. What exactly do you want to unlock? Some require you to save up a couple points to unlock a super weapon, or you can go ahead and choose to unlock one of your special weapons. Sometimes you might not want to unlock another weapon. You might want to focus on upgrading the weapon you've already unlocked. Doing this can give you several distinct advantages, as each upgrade point you dump into it gives it more damage and faster cooldown time, meaning you can use it more often. In addition to getting upgrade points, you'll also be earning in-game cash, which you can use to upgrade your vehicle itself or get consumables. This essentially comes down to a choice of, do you want to make your vehicle more durable or do slightly more damage in the long term? Or do you want a more pungent way to regenerate health immediately, but then have to buy another one? And again, none of this uses real money. It's only in-game currency that you get and earn at the start of every single match. These add two really interesting mechanics to try and balance while playing the game. Now, taking a look at the actual gameplay here, it's pretty interesting. It's a kind of a category all of its own. It's a vehicle combat MOBA game. Each team has several towers spread out along the map. The only way to start doing damage to these towers is by escorting AI-controlled units over to them to get their initial shields down. Once their shields are down, then you can start picking away at the tower until you completely destroy it. This might sound easy enough, but the enemies are also sending out their own AI units, and the closer you get to their towers, they're also protected by turrets. So this game definitely gives you a lot to manage all at one time. You're trying to essentially escort AI units over to enemy towers while defending them from turrets, AI, and enemy players, so you can start doing damage on towers while trying to defend your towers from the enemy team trying to do the same. This is where a good variety of vehicles really come in handy and really make the game really interesting. You can have some players focus on damage or fighting enemy players to keep them distracted, while other players are trying to get in there and get those mobs through to really damage the enemy towers and push the line forward. It makes for a good mix, however, every once in a while you can get stuck with some bad teammates and it can be a little frustrating. But in the games I played, I found this to be a rare occurrence. And on that note, matchmaking is still incredibly fast. I had no trouble loading into new matches at any time. This brings me to one of my biggest problems with the game. There's only one map. The map is definitely good and well laid out to the game's credit, but it really needs more than one map. I think this would really bring a lot more to the game. They've got a great combat design, they've got great vehicles, but it starts getting a little stale going on the same map over and over and over and over again. I would love to see some new maps like a desert theme, maybe a post-apocalyptic theme with buildings. And I get they're trying to give the game a more sports-like approach. Maybe something like a Coliseum would fit this well. But I definitely think throwing 4 or 5 maps in there into the rotation would help dramatically. So overall, for a free-to-play game, the graphics are okay, except for the characters. The character design is terrible. The vehicle design is great. The level design is great. The only problem is there's only one level. And the gameplay is a blast. So if you're into vehicle combat games or MOBAs, I highly recommend trying this one out on PlayStation. It's free, so what do you have to lose? Is it going to be the next League of Legends? Probably not. If you get into those kind of games, can you have a little fun with this game and enjoy it? I think so. Tell me what you think about SwitchBlade in the comments down below. And until next time, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.